Ever feel like you're running a race with no finish line? Like happiness is always just a little further ahead, a shimmering mirage you can never quite reach? I did. For years, I chased a perfect life, convinced that once I had it all, I'd finally be content. Turns out I was looking in the wrong direction. My rock bottom wasn't a dramatic crash, it was more of a slow, quiet fade. Imagine this. I'm a freelance graphic designer, working from home, or rather living in my home office, not a basement, but a spare bedroom that had become my entire world. The walls were covered in half-finished projects, the desk littered with coffee rings and takeout containers. My social life? Reduced to the occasional like on a friend's Instagram post, a fleeting digital connection. I told myself, once I land that big client, once I get my portfolio perfect, once I finally figure out how to network properly, then I'll be happy. I was so focused on the then that I missed the now. One day I was working on a project, a redesign for a local bakery, and I was completely stuck. Frustration was building, and I was about to throw my hands up in defeat. Then, something unexpected happened. I heard a sound, the faint rhythmic clinking of a bicycle bell. I looked out the window and there was a young girl, maybe 8 years old, riding her bike down the street. She was singing at the top of her lungs, her face lit up with pure, unadulterated joy. It stopped me cold. I realized I hadn't heard a sound like that I couldn't even remember. I was so consumed by my work, my goals, my perfect life, that I'd forgotten how to notice the simple things. That little girl became my catalyst. I decided to take a break, a real break. I walked to that same bakery I was designing for. The smell of fresh bread hit me like a wave, and I remembered how much I used to love baking as a kid. I ordered a slice of their lemon poppy seed cake, and as I ate it, I watched people come and go. I saw a couple laughing over coffee, a young mother chasing her toddler, an elderly man reading the newspaper. For the first time in a long time, I felt present. I was no longer thinking about deadlines or portfolios. I was simply enjoying the moment. That evening, I did something I hadn't done in years. I pulled out my old sketchbooks, not for a client, just for me. I started drawing, not worrying about perfection, just letting the lines flow. It was messy, imperfect, but it felt good. The next day, I didn't rush to my computer. I went for a walk in the park. I noticed the way the sunlight filtered through the leaves, the sound of birds chirping, the feel of the cool breeze on my skin. I started noticing the small, beautiful details that I'd been ignoring for so long. My work didn't magically become easier. I still had deadlines and I still faced challenges, but something had shifted. I was no longer waiting for happiness. I was finding it in the everyday moments. I started volunteering at a local community garden. I learned how to grow my own vegetables, and I discovered the satisfaction of nurturing something from seed to harvest. I even started baking again, not for perfection, but for the sheer joy of creating something delicious. Here's the thing, I still have goals. I still want to grow my business, but I've learned that happiness isn't a destination. It's a way of traveling. It's in the small victories, the unexpected moments of joy, the connections we make with others. So, the next time you find yourself chasing a future version of happiness, take a moment to look around. Listen to the sounds, smell the scents, feel the textures of the present moment. Maybe, just maybe, you'll discover that the happiness you've been searching for has been there all along, waiting for you to notice it.